One more numerical on rotational equilibrium, and this one is slightly more involved than the one which we did previously. I have drawn the diagram over here to save time, right, and so that we can quickly start into the numerical. Okay, so we have over here a beam, right, which is not of uniform shape, because you can see over here the width is more over here, width is less over here, and it is supported by 3 ropes, right. Let me also keep on mentioning it over here. It is supported, as you can see, by 3 ropes: rope AE, rope BC, and rope BD. 1, 2, and 3. And all the 3 ropes are identical, right? Same material, same cross section, right? And it is also given that the maximum load bearing capacity is 60 kg weight. Right? The maximum load bearing capacity of these ropes is 60 kg weight. And the question asked is that if case 1, if we take W is equal to 20 kg, which rope will break? If at all, any rope will break or not. And second, we have to do the same thing with W is equal to 80 kg weight, which rope will break? Okay, a few more things about this setup. As I said, a wooden beam, right, supported by 3 ropes, and the weight W is applied over here at a distance of 1 meter from this end, and G is the center of gravity of this. As you can very clearly see over here, we have more mass in this part, right? It is thicker over here, so there's more mass in this part. Therefore, the center of gravity is on this side, and it's a distance of 3 meter from this end, or say 1 meter from this end. And the total length of the wooden beam is 4 meter. And this is what we are expected to find out: which rope will break when we apply a weight of 20 kg and then 80 kg weight, right, instead of W. What we'll do is we'll use again rotational equilibrium. We'll use that equation of sigma tau is equal to 0 for rotational equilibrium. Right? Now, the question that we have is, what should be the axis of rotation, right? It turns out that you can take the axis of rotation as any particular point. You can take point A, or this line, as the axis of rotation, or you can take this as the axis of rotation, or you can take B as the axis of rotation. Theoretically speaking, you can also take G as the axis of rotation, but generally we don't. Generally we avoid taking G as the axis of rotation, right? But yes, you can do that. So what we'll do is we'll take up any 2 points as axis of rotation, right? And then try to find out the values of tensions in the rope. So if you want to find out whether a rope will break or no, we should get an idea about the tension in the rope. So let us say the tension in this rope is T1, right? And the tension in this rope is, say, T2, and the tension in this rope is T3. So I will have to get an idea about these tensions, T1, T2, right? And basically what we have to find out is that, which one of these, T1 or T2, will drop, right? T3 is not being considered over here, right? In this question, it is given over here. Even, as I said, I have not written down the equation. What is being asked is that T1 and T2 data is available. T3 rope is stronger, and the chances of T3 breaking off are very, very less. So basically, we have to find out which rope out of T1 and T2 will break. Right? A small correction, I should have mentioned that at the beginning of the numerical. Anyway, so we have to focus on T1 and T2 and find out what will happen to the rope when these 2 weights are applied. So we will first find out the moments are around the point A. That means around this particular axis, right? We'll apply the principle of moments, or the formula of sigma tau is equal to 0. And then we will do it across B and see what happens. So if I take point B as the axis of rotation, and if I apply sigma tau is equal to 0, I'll have to find out various torques which are acting on this. So what are the forces acting over here? Let us see this tension T1 is passing through point A. Therefore, torque applied by this would be 0. Right? If you remember our discussion, right? If you have a door, right, on a hinge, this is the example we have taken, and if you apply the force on the hinges, there is no rotation of the torque. We have to apply force away from the axis of rotation. Right? So any force which passes through the axis of rotation applies 0 torques. Now in this case, we are taking point A as the axis of rotation, and this T1 passes through point A. So the torque applied by T1 is 0. Okay. As far as W is concerned, we can take W. Now W is applying a torque in the clockwise direction. clockwise, right? So I'll have minus W. Distance from the axis of rotation is 1 meter. So this is the torque applied by this. As far as this force is concerned, it will also apply a clockwise torque because the axis of rotation is on this side. So I will get plus minus 40. Distance from the axis of rotation 3 meter, right? Okay, coming back over here now, this T2 force, right? If I look at this T2 force, it is an angle of 60 degree. Now this T2 can be broken up into two components. If this is T2, this is 60 degree. It has two components, right? This is 60 degrees and this is T2 cos 60. This is T2 sin 60. Now T2 cos 60, right, which is in this line, is passing through the axis of rotation, right? If I extend it, it will pass through axis of rotation, so it will not apply any torque, right? Whereas T2 sin 60, it is acting in the upward direction. I can show it over here. This is T2 sin 60. This is T2 cos 60. Right? This one is T2 sin 60. Right? So it will apply a torque, right? And it will apply an anti-clockwise torque. This is the axis of rotation. It is acting in the upward direction, so it will apply an anti-clockwise torque. So I'll get plus T2 sin 60 is the force, and its distance from this is 1 plus 2 plus 1, 4. This will be equal to 0. Right? Okay. This will give me minus W minus 120 minus plus. I am saving time. I don't want to show you this calculation. I have already done it. This will give me 3.46 T2 is equal to 0. And therefore I can write down T2 is equal to W plus 120 upon 3.46. Okay. So I have got an equation of T2 in terms of W. So later on I'll put those values and see what is the value of T2. Okay. I'll do the same thing around point B. Around point B. So this is the point I'm focusing on. I'll find out torques around this point. So this particular force T2 is passing through point B, so it will not apply any torque. These two are components of this force, so certainly they will not apply any torque. So I'll ignore T2. Coming to 40, 40 is applying. The point of axis of rotation is over here. This is minus 40, which is 40. So it is applying an anti-clockwise torque. So plus 40 into distance from the axis of rotation 1 meter. So this is the torque applied over here plus. Okay, let's move in this direction. The next force is W. W is again applying a force in anti-clockwise direction. So plus W, distance is 3 meters. 3. Okay, plus over here, this T1 will have two components. These two components. So this is T1 sin 45. This is T2 cos 45. As we discussed over here, T2 cos 45, if I extend it, it is passing through point B, so it will not apply any torque, right? Whereas T1 sin 45 is acting in upward direction, axis of rotation is over here, so this is going to apply a clockwise torque, so it will be negative. So T1 sin 45, distance from the axis of rotation is 4 meters, so 4 equal to 0. So I'll get 40 plus 3W minus 2.828 T1 is equal to 0. And therefore I can write down T1 is equal to 3W plus 40 upon 2.28. Right? So now I have T1 and T2 in terms of W. And now I will handle this part, right? Part 1. If W is equal to 20 kg weight. Right? So I can find out T1 and T2 in that case. For W is equal to 20, T2 will be W20. So this will be 20 plus 120. So it will be 140 divided by 3.46. T2 will come out to be 40.46. And T1 will be, put the value of 20 over here. So I'll get 60 plus 40, 100 by 2.88 will give me a value of 35.46 kg weight. And as we have said over here, the maximum load that they can take is 60 kg weight. These two are well below 60 kg weight. So in this case, neither rope will break. Okay. Part 2. If W is equal to 80 kg weight. Again, do the same exercise, put 80 over here. So I get 200 upon 3.46. So T2 will be 200 upon 3.46. And that will give me a value of 57.8 kg weight. T1, if I put a value of 80, I'll get 240 plus what is 280 upon 288. This will give me approximately 99 kg weight. Again, I have not shown the calculations, I have already done that. And as you can see over here, this is below 60 kg weight, but this is above 60 kg weight. And therefore, we can say rope T1, like this one, rope T1, that is rope AE, will break if W is equal to 80 kg weight. So this is how we have used rotational equilibrium sigma tau is equal to 0 to identify what is the tension created in the supporting ropes and which one will break under different conditions. Thank you.